William Paca Elementary School is a Title I pre-K through 5th grade elementary school in Harford County, Maryland. We examined the data and organized our students into tiers of needs, academic and behavior. We began to think about what strategies we could begin to use that would not only support students, but support teachers and staff in meeting the diverse needs of our population.
The responsibility of educators has changed significantly throughout the years. With a nationwide focus of emotional and mental wellness, it is our professional responsibility to progress with a holistic mindset in supporting emotional, social, and the academic well-being.
We need to not only educate and support our students, but our families, ourselves, and each other.
Through into your lungs and then inflating your belly like a balloon. So it breathes and it gets bigger. And then as you breathe out, down here at this bottom corner of the square. So you're going to breathe in as you trace up, breathe out as you trace across, breathe in as you trace down, breathe out as you trace across. So keep going. And then breathe out like you were going to fog up your mirror. I love that sound.
Our learning team used the momentum from our data, our goals, and our kickoff to design tiered teacher and student supports through mindfulness tied to academic success. We started by taking our research and directly applying strategies to our tiers of students through whole group, Tier 1, small group, Tier 2, and individualized Tier 3 instruction. The learning team and students shared these concepts with staff and each other. Our staff began to use these tiered supports and work together to design their own to support student needs.
Today with a book that's a little more child-friendly. This is a book that has a lot of strategies for both families and for students that you can try in your classroom. And right now we're really focusing on how do we explain this whole thing of mindfulness to our families? How do we get that connection going so that they understand what we're doing and how it's helping them academically? So this is just a little quote that starts to explain why mindfulness feels a little weird in the beginning and what it does. So it says, think of a peaceful forest that no one has ever visited. At first, there is no clear path for you to walk down. You need to clear the way, and it may be difficult to make it through the bushes, the mud, and other things. But with each walk down the same way, the path becomes clearer and easier to walk on. And we start thinking about some of our Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 supports that we've been creating. Some of our students that come to us and we don't know the clear path to their success yet. So we have to start thinking, okay, do they need a math intervention? Do they need a reading intervention? Do they need some social emotional skills? So we start building these Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 supports for them, but that path is foggy at first.
So our implementation of the Cephal model in our school is really implementing the 3 tiers of the model. So that first tier is building relationships and providing that structured, supportive environment for all children. Then our Tier 2 is looking at our targeted social emotional supports for those students requiring more specific instruction, and that can include direct instruction in identifying your emotions, building friendships, and developing strategies for regulating their emotions. And Tier 3, we're looking at individual interventions, which is the use of a behavior support plan to determine the function of behaviors and to address those triggers. Our journey into mindfulness helps our students with that social emotional regulation, but it also helps them to become more available to the specific instruction in social skills.
As a teacher, if I am more present in my instruction, I am able to make better decisions and make a bigger academic impact. As a student, if I'm more present in the learning, I am able to take in more information and store it to apply to later skills.
Cauldrons ready? Next is cat claws, and then I'll stir. I really hope I didn't get any fur.
Our learning team decided to merge our academic CFIT process with our behavior CFIT process to create a more holistic view of supports. Grade levels apply mindfulness during this process as they support students. It shows our high level of building collective responsibility and applying our knowledge of meeting students' needs.
This has changed my classroom in several different ways. If you look at my class as a whole, I teach pre-K and we have a very difficult time transitioning from one activity to the next, and doing a mindfulness activity between each transition that lasts maybe even just a minute has settled the children and they are ready to learn. If I don't have that mindfulness minute in between a transition, kids are very unsettled. You can see their brains and their bodies just aren't ready to learn. But individually, I have 3 particular students that we've taught some individual techniques to them, especially if they're angry or sad. They find a spot in the room if they're angry or sad, and they're actually able to kind of do it on their own at this point. So it really helps them individually as well, be able to calm down and be able to take that anger away, sadness away, and then they're ready to learn.
And then I took a minute and I calmed it down and I went back and did my
I am so proud of you. Good job. Doesn't it feel so good when you use a strategy like that?
Yeah.
Give me.
One of the strategies we have implemented is the Y team. Members of this team are utilized when a teacher wants to continue instruction and maintain the relationship built between him or her and the student. During this time, the teacher will take the student for a walk and provide strategies to problem solve in order for the child to continue to access learning with the remainder of the class. We continue to refine and monitor this practice to best meet the needs of our students.
I wanted to integrate mindfulness into my classroom because I know that as my students get older, they experience more emotions and they have more complex situations that they have to deal with in their life. I am hoping that I can integrate mindfulness into my classroom in order to help facilitate discussions about ownership of their actions, de-escalation strategies, and also coping strategies for those emotions that they're feeling. We are hoping that through mindfulness we can lay the foundation for these real-life skills that they will carry through the rest of their lives.
And has done a complete turnaround since he started to come here. The teachers' relationships with my son have been amazing. The principals have been amazing. They've shown him tons of strategies to calm himself, to go from a 10 to a 3 within minutes, and his progress in, I think he's been here 10 weeks, 11 weeks, maybe 13, has been amazing. So I appreciate this school a lot.
Our learning team is at the forefront of building teacher capacity by breaking down and sharing the research we learn. We start and end school data meetings, math meetings, PBIS meetings, and a lot of our instructional teams with skills and strategies to build mindfulness, and we connect everything together.